Hello and welcome to the Growing Full Circle podcast. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. For those of you who have been following the podcast, sorry for the abrupt absence. I know in our last episode, I sounded very excited for our next episode. It was going to be our first guest. However, with the first two episodes of the podcast, it really allowed me time to reflect. Reflect on not only what I wanted to convey with this podcast, but also how I wanted to proceed with the rest of my life. That's how deep this kind of got for me. So when that happens, I like to take a step back and really utilize my spiritual tools to locate the answers. And that's what I did. So what we have come up with, we will no longer do guests on this podcast. We will no longer try to market my life coaching business. We will no longer try to engage in a way where I'm teaching or appear that I'm looking to teach anyone anything, because that is not the goal of my podcast. What I truly want this to be an experience about is me and how I have utilized these tools in order to really feel this peace that I have inside of me. And I want to make sure that is what comes across, because that's the authentic message that I can convey at this moment in my life. That is the most, that is what I spend the most energy giving. That's the development and improvement of my life. And I want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about what Buddha said. I don't want to talk about what Jesus said. I want to talk about what my spirit guide told me about working out. I want to say what my tarot cards had told me about my job choices or about my relationship. I want to talk about pop culture and the crazy things that goes on outside. I want to talk about those things, and that's what we're going to do here. So if you're down for that, if you're really ready for the ride, then welcome to the reboot of episode 1 in the Growing Full Circle podcast, where you're going to get me with the flavor and not me with the professionalism. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so let me tell y'all what my beef was with my first couple episodes with creating a podcast. And it really stems from the sort of professionalism that comes with making money and being marketable. I'm a Scorpio first and foremost. Sun sign Scorpio, moon sign Aquarius, Taurus rising. I got hella Capricorn everywhere. And my energies start to clash when my rebellious side starts seeing too much professionalism when it comes to me trying to make money. And when my Capricorn energy sees dollar signs and goals, I get really excited because I want to be the best of the best and achieve those things not for anyone else, but just for myself. But then my other thoughts are like, well, you're going to have to brand yourself, quote unquote. And if you're not being authentic, then my heart will start rebelling. So it's that internal struggle within me when I have an idea that I love, but if I can't see myself being authentic within that idea, then I'll just fall back. And this is me listening to my intuition, because that shit's loud. It used to didn't be this loud, but after so long of just trying to listen and understand and seeing where my heart takes me, when I'm going away from my heart, it's this tug. Like, no, don't go that way. And it takes so much time and practice and experience to really understand and read that feeling, because it's a feeling. You can't see it. So how can you read something that is a feeling? Well, you have to read the you have to be very sensitive and mindful on the levels. The levels, it's all about depth. So, for example, if it's super strong, that doesn't mean to avoid something. That just means to pay attention. And the level of intensity it is means the level of attention you need to pay to what's going on. So I know, for example, I know a lot of people really feel that love is this huge spark, you know? When you first see somebody, it's supposed to be, boom, that's the person you see for the rest of your life. And that does occur. However, for me, in my experience, those emotions, those feelings was my intuition telling me to pay attention, showing me directions on where to go and keeping my focus and not get distracted on my goals. And a lot of my goals surrounded love, so that's why my intuition was so hard on certain things, and we're not going to get into that right now. However, it's intuition really makes you pay attention. So that tug that I feel, I really dive into that intensity and what is spirit trying to show me. And that's how I've learned to follow my intuition and live my life within my intuition, and take away the ego within my decisions and lead with love always. But back to this professionalism and conformity that I just so seem to dislike. And it's not a dislike on the fundamentals of how it benefits people. It's just a dislike for me and my character. So I am perfectly fine with, a business being professional in a way where suit, tie every day, because they feel as if that is needed for that industry. No beefs for me. But me, I wouldn't be in that industry. That's why I'm not a banker. It's just pure and simple. But when it comes to this podcast and even life coaching, I even throw that in there, since that is something that I have on my resume. I went and got certified to do that. At a point in my life, I felt like that is a path for me, but it wasn't the totality of me. And I'm trying to get to a point where I can be completely and fully myself and not just a piece of myself. And life coaching is a piece of myself. I feel like I can always be able to offer life coaching because it's structured and it's about being organized and being motivated, and those things are just come naturally to me. So I feel like I can always help somebody achieve a goal within life. So I don't need that to make that my profession. And with this podcast, I felt as if I couldn't market myself in a way to where my message would come across authentically. That's the word that keeps popping up for me. So I'm trying to do that now without the whole trying to make money energy. That's basically what has happened. And I'm applying those same lessons, and that's, removing that energy to other parts of my life. Has consumed me for so long, and that's just a part of, I said I ain't gonna talk about what Buddha talk about, but Buddha talks about, releasing attachment. That's the main thing about, Buddhism. And that's the main thing that I've taken from Buddhism is the idea of releasing attachments to things. And that is just so important in terms of the truth within my life, because when you release those attachments, you are releasing the tension that comes with it. The tension that comes with being material, the tension that comes with, wanting to be accepted by everyone, or wanting to be loved, or wanting to feel like I got the best damn podcast and I make the best damn money and I'm just the best there is. And releasing those attachments brings so much peace and joy to your heart and your life. And you can continue to do those things that you love without having to feel as if it's going to be the end of the world. Because for me, spirituality has taught me peace within the present. I can, and I still do, I'm always looking into the future. But for me, there is no future because it's already now. I already exist within the life that I want to live. I'm already me. I'm already Dominique. I can't be more Dominique in 10 years. I can progress towards the things that I want to do and achieve for myself within 10 years. But I'm always going to be me. So I don't need to focus on who I'm going to be or where I'm going to be. I focus on the moment, the time, how I feel in this moment. Making sure that my shoulders are relaxed. Making sure my tongue isn't sitting on the roof of my mouth. Breathing. Keeping my mind clear. I'm on a clock. My schedule's in the back of my mind, but I'm not thinking about it. I just know where it's at. I know where my time frames are. I don't need to harbor and say, oh man, I got a meeting in a minute. I don't need to do that. My calendar is there for a reason. I have alerts for a reason. I breathe. And we move on. So I'm sure by now some of you are wondering, what exactly is the message? Who am I authentically? Why did I start a podcast, disappear, come back with a reboot? What am I trying to say? And I think my answer is still evolving a bit. However, what I do know is I have to know. I feel like it is my job, my life's purpose, to just live within my truth. And here is my absolute truth. My absolute truth, what I believe in this life, what I feel like everybody should be given in some form, whether it's a video, a book when you come out the womb, something about this is the life this is what life is. This is how you get answers. This is how you are able to control your emotions. This will explain the things that are unseen. This will define who you are. This here is that truth, bro. That life truth. And it's my spirituality. Like, I don't really, lately, what I have been confused about in terms of my spirituality is how people gravitate to who they call like ascended masters. This is why I kind of jumped on this podcast and was saying I'm not going to talk about what Buddha or Jesus is saying, because this is what I kind of been researching and searching for answers for. And I was wondering, like, why do people gravitate to them? Why do people listen to them? Why throughout the history are their names and their teaching shared when the message is the same? The same message that I'm gonna take that back. Let's retract that. The essence of the message. When you look at the truth, when you really break things down, it's like English. Yeah, you could spend a whole book. You could spin out a whole paragraph, a sentence. But when you break it down, letter by letter, word by word, what are you really saying? And it all points back to the truth that we are one consciousness. Everybody. We all linked. We all in this together. We are all God. And it's so clear to me. Meeting God, I have met all of y'all. And I have grown to have unconditional love for every single living soul in this universe. Y'all get on my nerves. But I'm human. But I'm energy. And that's my balance. That's your balance. That's all of our balance. That was Jesus' balance. That was Buddha's balance. We are God within ourselves, but we are human. We need to balance our emotions, our desires, our flaws, and become one with who we are. And it's all about that love. That's really where it started for me. Learning to have self-love for myself is what taught me to have love for everyone else. If I can't scream that at the top of my lungs, I'm not being authentic. When I smile, that's not me smiling at my day. That's me smiling at another soul. Hey, I hope you have a great day. I want every soul to feel what I feel. Peace and love. And the thing that I have been taught and that I have learned is that can't be forced on anyone. That is something that each individual is going to have to come to acceptance within themselves. As a leader, I want to be someone who leads by an example. I want to utilize the tools that I feel will bring you peace. If you see me meditating, that's because I'm at peace. Come join me. If I'm looking up at the sky, breathing the air, that brings me peace. Come join me. I got a plant growing next to me right now. I love trimming her. It brings me peace. Anything within my life I do because it brings me joy and peace. I'm raising kids because it brings me joy and peace. I cuddle up with my girl. It brings me joy and peace. I don't do nothing else. I get a little emotional talk about God and my life and stuff. That's why I felt like I needed to share. I've been a person who I haven't had passion for a lot of things. But since I met God, nothing else could top it. I think this is a good point to wrap today's episode. We got a little emotional, but that's okay. That's what we're here to do. This is a judgment-free space. There's nothing but love here. I want to continue to express myself and express how I feel about things. And that's what we're going to do on the next episode, because I need to put this on my bucket list. We really need to develop a plan to end the gender war. And if it takes me talking bad about it and pointing all the flaws and poking holes at it for us to really examine why the hell we hate each other, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it in the next episode. So I hope you join me. We're going to get real emotional, real passionate, show you some feelings. Fuck it, we might even cry on air. But the point is, we're going to be truthful. We're going to be honest. We're going to be authentic. You're going to get the real. You're going to see more of me and my experiences. And we all just going to become balanced in the process. And really grow full circle. You get it? We're going to be growing full circle all together. Me, you, listeners, all of us have to get a name for y'all, something. But the flavor's coming. The topics is coming. Consistency is coming. I really want to do this. And I'm putting it on wax so you can hear me. I want to put my message out there. I want to be more open. We're not hiding. We are going to push forward. And if I have to turn my soapbox into a microphone, if I got to get on a stadium, if I got to get on this TV, whatever it takes, I want to make sure that y'all find peace and love and find enlightenment within your life, because no one can show you how to live your life. No one can tell you what to do with your life, but make sure that you are making choices based on how you feel inside and what's going to bring you true joy, and not be a detriment to yourself, meaning everybody around you. Do unto others of which you would do to yourself, or something, however that quote go. You know what I'm talking about. Treat others the way you want to be treated. That's what I learned. That's my generation. So show love to your fellow person. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on this podcast. More to come. I don't know how that's gonna be because my schedule's always crazy, but just know I'm here. I'm gonna give it to you. You're gonna get it raw. You're gonna get it how Dominic Wants to Skate is gonna give it to you. And yeah, hope you like it. So take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.